What you can see behind me is Wyangala Dam, and that's where we are for our Easter break.
It's rugged and it's dry, but it's still green in places, and the countryside in this region is quite spectacular. It's also a great place to go camping, so we set up our domies and the camper trailer in a great spot on the top of the hill. There was a few other groups of campers around, but considering it was Easter, there were very few people using the area. Wyangala Waters State Park is located on the shores of Wyangala Dam, which is almost empty at only 5% capacity. The extent of the drought in New South Wales is obvious when you look at the dam from satellite photos. This photo shows the dam at a much higher 30%.
The light goes onto this and it shines really bright. Like a torch, but not.
So what about the dam itself? The dam is an aggregate and earth dam, which was finished in 1971. And sits just above the Wyangala village, which I'm sure is only there because of the dam. At the southern end of the dam is a concrete spillway, which is not even holding any water back at the moment due to the current water level. The spillway opens to the Lachlan River below. But back in 1928, they started working on the first dam of the river. The first dam was a concrete dam, and it was decided that it needed to be replaced for safety reasons. It now sits behind the new construction and was modified to be part of the new dam. But when the dam is full, the old dam wall is fully submerged.
Despite the dam being at only 5% capacity, they still let a lot of water into the Lachlan River.
And basically that is what the dam was built for. It's there to regulate flow to the townships and farming lands down the river. They also built a hydropower station in 1991. And in 2003 they added another generator so they could still produce electricity when they were letting less water out, like today. It's very peaceful downstream where the river waters flow gently through tree-lined banks and over sunken boulders. So what do you do when you're at Wyangala Dam? Well, you can go forward driving. Or perhaps you could go on an Easter egg hunt. What about reading a book? Maybe you could go on a bushwalk down a steep hill. You could take in the view of the caravan park. Play Jake in the Rock?
Hi, but can't they see the kangaroos?
Yep, checking out the kangaroos is always a good option. But I'm not sure about smacking things with a stick. But a bit of cricket is worth a try. How's that?
It is.
If you're having trouble sleeping, you could always count sheep. Water skiing is still an option, but as you can see, with the water so low, there aren't too many people doing that. So the next best thing with water would have to be the water slide. There is plenty of water here. The problem is it's freezing cold. Not far from Wyangala Dam is the township of Cowra.
Despite Cowra being a small rural town, it has many things to see, including this magnificent rose garden.
Now, while I was checking out the different varieties, colours and beauty of the roses, the boys have found the play equipment in the park, as usual. We learn a bit of history while we were here. In World War II, Cowra became famous for the breakout of Japanese POWs from the camp just outside town. Many of them were killed or injured, and a lot of them did escape. That was back in 1944, and things have certainly changed since then, although many of the original buildings still remain. There are still other tourist attractions to keep you occupied.
At the top of town, there's the Japanese gardens, which are the largest in the southern hemisphere.
And you can probably guess why there are Japanese gardens in Cowra. Yes, it's all related to the breakout from the prisoner of war camp. To help get the gardens going, the Australian and Japanese governments helped with the money to build the first section. Later, the gardens were extended to their current size of just over 12 acres. These gardens are known as kayashuki, or strolling gardens, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're strolling around, looking at the interesting aspects and different varieties of plants and trees. Water plays a big part in the Japanese garden, and even though we are in a severe drought, there is plenty of water here to keep the koi carp happy, and the ducks too. Luckily, the water here is all recycled and is constantly pumped up the hill to keep the waterfalls running.
World-renowned Japanese architect Ken Nakajimi designed the gardens. It also employs 3 full-time gardeners and an apprentice.
The Cowra Japanese garden is unique in that it is more than just a garden. It is described as a powerful symbol of goodwill to encourage reconciliation and peace. Supposedly, the striking hill represents Mount Fuji. The manicured hedges cascading across the garden are like rolling hills, the streams flow like rivers, and the ponds glisten like the inland lakes and the sea. Cowra also has a wine industry, and there are plenty of vineyards to see around the edge of town. The district is known as Chardonnay country due to the amount of Chardonnay wines it produces. So a quick stop at the cellar door for a few bottles is in order. Another unique feature of the landscape is the wind farm north of Cowra. Electricity is added to the grid, providing more clean green power to the people of New South Wales. So that was our Easter at Wyangala Dam, and a bit about the area, the history and the tourist attractions. It's only 3.5 hours from Sydney, located southwest of Bathurst and just east of Cowra. So pay it a visit sometime.
The best time at Wyangala Dam.
Oh, no!